I have been getting a lot of requests to use this palette again. It's real pretty, isn't it? Ooh. No idea what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do it. So this is going to be what I like to call mild spicy. Neutral colors, but the shape might be a little bit out of your comfort zone, but it's going to be a little bit different of a shape. I'm very excited. I'm also going to use the shade medium in clean canvas today. Let me go shut that door. That man is on some meetings. So I'm wanting a lot of depth in the look, and the darker the base, the more depth we're going to have. So this one's about technically a shade and a half darker than, even though it kind of looks like it here, if this was to go on my face, you would see how much darker it is. So the darker your base, the more depth. Think about that, because if we think about using a black base, that gives us the most depth. So that's an easy way to remember that. Don't miss yesterday's story. It was so helpful. I just saved it to my highlights. That way y'all can go back and reference it. But do not miss it. It's all about why your eyeshadow might be creasing and just so many eyeshadow tips. Because today, obviously all of my tutorials are educational, but this one probably won't be as educational as yesterday's. But it's there, it's saved, go watch it. So we're gonna start with this shade, but I'm gonna warn y'all, listen. These are some of the most pigmented shadows. That much right there is all we're gonna need. You're gonna see the sparkles in it, but don't think full on glitter, because sometimes those kind of just press in. There will be some sparkle, but there's a difference between a shimmer shadow and a matte shadow with a little bit of sparkle in it. So it's still considered a matte eyeshadow. So let's go ahead and take this, and I'm gonna focus it over here. And if I was to just kind of grab a whole bunch of this, it would get away from me very quickly. And get away means it would be way too dark. So you might be thinking, Rose, that didn't even show up. Trust me, what we're trying to do and what we're trying to do and where we're trying to go right now, we do not want this at its full, I guess, pigment. So let's start here. I'm gonna push it into the brow. And I want to shade, through here mostly. Most of the time you're going to see that I shade on the outer part, but we're doing things a little bit different today. Again, tiny amount of this. And we're just going to press it, focus it through here, then transition it up into the brow area. Something a little bit different today, but still going to be very wearable, very neutral. Might just take you a little bit out of your comfort zone. Ooh, that's pretty. These shadows blend beautifully, by the way. Now, we're gonna take whatever's left on our E28 here, and we're gonna bring it over this way. But we still want most of that color to be towards the front of the eye. Closer to the bridge of the nose. This way. This way. Alrighty, now listen. Now we're gonna switch to a smaller brush because we're gonna start with some detail here. I have a natural crease here. You can definitely see it right there. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna hide that, but we're not there yet because I'm kind of reshaping my eye right now. So let's grab this color. And again, I switched to that E27. And I'm gonna start by stamping it right here because I can just get more precision that way. Perfect. Just press it, press it. Wonderful. And then stop it about right there. Now I'm going to wipe my brush off on Sheila. And now we're going to use the side just to tap. And then, I don't know what they're doing in there. Now I'm going to pull the brush just a little bit. And you'll notice that I'm always pulling in one direction. That still gives us more control, but please trust the process with this look. These types of looks need a little bit of trust, but we're getting there. I'm gonna tap it a little bit more. And then I'm gonna pick up that same color, and I wanna bring it over this way a little bit more. There we go. You can kind of watch it transform. I'm using the center of the brush right now. And I cannot stress enough how this type of look is not, my color ran away. This is the one I'm using, yes. The darkest shade in the palette. I cannot stress enough how these types of looks, they need a lot more finishing than they do starting. That's a really good way to say it. So you kind of bring this type of shape back to life with the foundation, with the concealer, everything that goes around it. So I'm taking that darker shade and I'm just going to press it more into the socket. I'm going to bring it all the way over. I'm going to show you exactly. It keeps running away from me because I have my palette backwards. Don't ask. Also, don't worry about your lid space. Now we're going to go back in. Ooh, look at the blend now. You just wait. But we're going back in just to layer that darkest shade through here. And we'll lightly pull it over that way. In fact, that might be too much. Tap that out. Oh, this is fun. Ooh, get ready for the shimmer. Click, click. Put on your makeup seatbelts. Okay, let's get our base, whatever's left. Even this out. I'm trying to decide if I want to, you know what? This is just the things that we do, you know, and I'm going to grab black eyeshadow, but I'm grabbing the tiniest amount. I'm going to show you. Let's grab it on an E26 because we really want that much detail. I really just wanted to shade that part. Oh, Jean, nobody wants to hear you taking a bath. Goodness me. So you saw that we just shaded that little bit of skin peeking through. Just a smidge. Okay. Now, back in with the eyeshadow base. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is not going to be a cut crease. But we do want to make sure that we're not messing up that cool shading that we have here. Just press that all over. I did pick up a little bit extra. I want to make sure that my lid is extra tacky. That way that shimmer really, really pops. That's going to be fun. We're going in with the, oh, I already grabbed it on that. It doesn't matter. We all know. Well, we might not. We never like to assume, but with my shimmers, I like to pick up quite a bit because I want to kind of press and pull it across. It's so pretty. And I like to cover this space very quickly. And of course, more product just means more pigment, more shimmer. Wow, that's stunning. And it just keeps going. And I'm just gonna relax my eye and just ever so lightly press it through here, kind of feathering it and tapping it into the mat. I'm gonna use what's left on this side too. We actually have a bundle with these two brushes. This one for concealer, which I'll be using later for concealer, and then this one is also concealer or even shimmer shadows. So I'm gonna link that bundle. It is holiday time, y'all. And I call this one Your Fingertip But Better for shimmers because it's so flat. And you have that control. Jean, I'm gonna make you wash my brushes if you just keep bathing down there. I'll just take whatever's left here on the E28 and just tap this over that way, and by that way towards the, we'll say the end of the brow. And then I'm going to grab my C30 again, and I'm going to grab this shade, and I'm just going to put a little extra right here. just to make that pop a little bit more when the light hits it. Little spicy effect. All right, I like this. I really, really, really like this. It's from Pat McGrath, and we're gonna do a very smudgy wing, but we're just going to run it along the lash line. Do you see that separation? Oh, bless you. Oh. Do you see the separation here? We really want to make sure that we're working it into the lashes, even if we come from underneath. Mascara can still get that, but we really want to make sure that we try our best. But we're still about to add some black eyeshadow. But I love this. I'm going to do this on my waterline as well, top and bottom. Look at how creamy that is. Love it. 10 out of a 10. Now let's grab some black eyeshadow and an E27. The black eyeshadow that I use is from Natasha Denona, and it's my all-time favorite black eyeshadow. Jean, baby. He's roughing it over there. And I'm just gonna press this. And as you can see, the E27 can just wing it, literally. Press above that. Okay, these are my favorite lashes. I always go back to them. They're from Rochelle Beauty and they're in the style Moonlight. Pop this on real quickly. I need to go get some more lash glue. And by the way, I have an entire lash tutorial where I go super in depth on my saved highlights. Oh, I forgot to show you. All I did to clean up underneath here was a micellar water. Just the one. Was micellar water and a C30. I show it all the time. And if you check really any of my saved highlights, you'll see me do it. Okay, we're getting a little vampy here. I'm actually gonna go change my top because I want this to be a vibe. I do like this though. Barbie. I got this at Forever 21 when it was out last year. What is this? Who knows? But I have the matching pants and I love it. Love, love, love. But I do want to go change my top, so I'll be right back. So we're going to do our Patrick Ta foundation. Only me. We're going to do that one today. Just kind of even it out first. And then I'm going to grab my brush. Get on there. There we go. I feel like that should be enough because I'm still going to go pretty heavy with my concealer. So we'll see where this goes. If we need to scoop out more, we always can. The brush I'm going to use, the prototype, here it is. Stay tuned. And this foundation is so pretty. This is the shade Light 4. There we go. Watch that melt in. Ben was about to tell me, all he was going to say is he's talking about flights. We got to go do fun stuff. Okay. Anyways, I was saying we're doing some traveling, business traveling. Vacation? What's that? But you know what? The way that I look at things is my life is just one big fun time. So even if it's a work trip, I'm still having fun and it's a vacation. So now I'm going to grab a fluffy brush. We don't want as much coverage through here. I just want to kind of fluff it around. The fluffier the brush, the less coverage. The more dense, the more coverage. So I have a little bit of the foundation here on the back of my hand, picking up a very small amount, almost to where it's non-existent on the brush. And let's take this. And yes, I see this unblended foundation. I'm not there yet. And we're just gonna smooth it. I still want the shape. Ooh, look at that already. But I just want to melt it in to everything. I'm not going to take it across, but I am going to take it through here. I'm tapping with the tip of the brush. It's little things like this that really add finesse to your eyeshadow looks and even to your foundation and concealer. Now I'm going to grab my brush here and finish blending that. And if you hear footsteps on my roof, that's not Santa Claus and the reindeer, But we're actually having our Christmas lights put up today. So they're walking around on the roof and you might hear that. And it does sound very suspicious. I love watching this. It's one of my favorite things. When I have these extreme dark shadows on, like I do today, a little bit of peach corrector goes a long way. We're actually going to use less concealer now. And let's grab our C31, because we don't want this corrector to creep all the way down here. Our concealer can, because it's going to be in our skin tone, but with correctors we definitely need a smaller, short, see how those are short, dense brush. Perfect. That already looks so much better. Now we have one more trick for the eyeshadow, and that's going to be our bronzer, but we're not there yet. I got ahead of myself. I just get so excited. Okay, moving on. We still need concealer. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That's where I'm at right now. Let's grab our matte concealer. It's the first one I grabbed. I have been enjoying this one though. It's a really nice color on me right now. And I feel like this one, it needs to be shaken. Shake it every single time. And then we're not going to need as much because we do have on that corrector. We can go a little heavier through the center. Good Lord, if I could just sleep half as well as Jean sleeps. And if you're new here, that's actually a cat snoring and not a dog. He thinks he's a dog. C31 again. And I want to do a little bit more highlighting today. We are nice and full coverage. And since this brush is angled, we're going to be able to get some nice precision and really clean up underneath our wing. Tap it under there and then we can pull it for the precision. Nice. Now he's just showing off. Also, if you feel that your concealer is just kind of blending away, using a smaller brush is going to be ideal. It's going to take you a smidge longer, just a smidge, to blend it in, but this smaller brush isn't going to absorb all of that product and it's going to stay exactly where you want it. So I highly recommend the C31. So I actually don't want to use a pink today. I'm going to show you. This one's going to be closer to my actual skin tone. This is Givenchy, but it's shade number 4. And I'm going to pick that up on my puff. Put that back because it's trying to run away. Talk about this all the time, but even 10 seconds, this is going to start to crease because it's not set. Let's work that back in. So it's still going to brighten, but it's also going to just be closer to our skin tone. I didn't feel like pink powder was the vibe with this look. I don't know what this is. We're going to return to that in a second. And I know that this is unblended. I was letting that sit for a second. I'm checking that out. Not sure if I like it yet, but I'm kind of trying it out. Let me finish this and I'll explain to you what that does. Ooh, it's nice. So when you let concealer dry down the bridge of your nose, it's supposed to give a highlighting effect. As concealer dries, it sets. Even if you don't add powder, it's not going to set the same way as if I did add powder, but it just kind of sets and it highlights. But we still need to tap it in a little bit. And I've tried this technique a few times. I never really see a major difference, but I'm trying it out. Still not seeing enough. I don't see enough. Maybe a little, but not enough. Not enough. You know what I do see a difference in? The Givenchy powder. I love it. Not to mention the puff is pretty snazzy. You know what? Can I tell y'all something? I'm sure I can. We're friends here. It's still surreal to me that I have the puff here. We have our puff and I'm using it with my favorite powder that I've been using for years, but now I have my puff. It's surreal. Let me record this because it is really satisfying to watch. The whole house is shaking. Well, they're up there, they're doing it. They're just Christmasing it up there. You know, I go through seasons, but I really like this color. I mean, you know what? I might be into this instead of the pink. I like it. This color, shade 4 instead of shade 3. I'm feeling wild. Trying to get out of my routine. I'm gonna grab this cream bronzer from LYS. Definitely a bronzer, very warm. Have to remind y'all, this is not a contour. And to me, contour on me in person, true contour, it's noticeable. That's a really good way to put it. It's very noticeable because it's supposed to be. Bronzer though, on the other hand, which is what this is, even though a lot of times we're taught that this placement is a contour placement. Bronzing still gives you a lovely shape. I'm actually gonna use a C41. It still gives you beautiful shape to the face, but it's not contour. Also, don't be afraid of this. Remember, I haven't set the outer perimeter of my face. Ooh, this is a lot, but I'm gonna. So again, this is wild, but remember, I only set the inner part of my face. So underneath my eye, through here. Do not be afraid. I'm kind of doing a very quick underpainting situation. So just hold your horses before you start DMing me. This is a very good way to get a very, let's call it glam look without all of the major effort of underpainting. So just hang on now before the DMs start flying. I'm also using the C41 because I just wanted shorter, denser bristles, because I don't want this to kind of gravitate too far over this way. I'm gonna have more control. The shorter the bristles, remember that. The shorter the bristles, the more control, and that's what we need. I know y'all are scared. Don't be scared. In fact, before we blend it in, hang on. Now, with what's here on my nose, I'm gonna take that bronzer, and this is where I was telling you I wanted to connect this. And now, it's all gonna come back together. So I'm gonna grab my foundation brush, and if there's not enough foundation left on here, we can always grab more, but I'm pretty sure that there's going to be plenty. And look at that already. Told you. I know that makeup, and this is one of the things about makeup that can be incredibly intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. It really and truly does not have to be. And then remember, we still have to set the rest of the face. So this is still gonna go on top, and that is gonna tone it down even more. So think of this as underpainting, but very beginner friendly. I still haven't picked up any more foundation. That's just gonna be enough. Again, but this foundation around here was not set, so it can still move around. My body heat has it really nice and warm now. Oh, I love it. I actually like the color, everything about it. I feel spicy, y'all. I like the idea of this color blush with this look. So let's grab it. This is the same C41. And again, I'm gonna go a little bit overboard, because now I'm gonna put powder on top of it. This is from Ofra, by the way. I might add a touch of the pink here. A little across the forehead where the sun naturally hits, and across the nose. And then it's almost time, whoops, to grab our powder from the powder and foundation duo. So there you go, nice and set. gorgeous. But we still have our beautiful glow. I'm grabbing the powder here on the same C41, and we'll just go over absolutely everything. I feel at this point they are just doing a jig right above my room. Oh, I love it. I'm so excited to see it tonight too. Now I'm going to take this, the Pat McGrath eyeliner that we used earlier, and I'm just ever so lightly bringing it out of the lash line. And if you find that sometimes you overdo this, come from the top instead of coming from underneath like this, which can very quickly get away from me. Come from the top part and just press it into your lashes. But also do this into a mirror and not your phone, because I technically can't really see what I'm doing. So do this into a mirror. So I actually like just that definition underneath here. I don't want to smoke it out, but what I am going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of that Givenchy powder on an E27, and all I'm doing is setting right where the black meets my skin. I'm not smudging it. I'm just taking this little brush and setting it. Let's go ahead and do a little bit here too. Now we need an inner corner highlight. Grab this shade on an E27. Don't want to bring it up too far that way because I love our shading there. Grab a little bit more. Okay, so I feel like this is our vibe, but I want a darker lip liner with it. We'll do By Mario lip liner in the shade Jeff, nice dark brown. And then I like it because we have a lip brush on this side to blend. So this might be one of my all-time favorite looks. I love it. The lip color, everything about it. I love it. Honestly, it kind of looks like a filter. It looks so good. I love it. I had fun with this one. I feel like this is definitely still edgy holiday. We'll call it that. But you know, it's not really that wild because I feel like the smoky wing kind of balances everything. I love how this kind of negative space fades through here. I love it. Blink, blink, blink. Also, definitely think everybody should go get this lipstick. I feel like this would be so pretty with so many different looks. I feel like it's right on the edge of being, I don't even know how to say it. It's still kind of neutral. And you could even wear it with a more pinky brown lip liner. And it's just not quite as wild as just red lipstick, but then it's edgy. I feel like y'all might need this. Like I said before, make sure you check out yesterday's saved highlight. It's the very last saved highlight. And I will definitely be saving this to my highlights. Surprisingly, y'all like this look as much as I do. I expected y'all to be like, oh, this is a little different. But y'all liked it as much as I do. The DMs are absolutely wild. I'm so glad that y'all liked it. Tomorrow, I might just do a sit down where I talk about makeup that I have really enjoyed and some things that didn't work out for me. So I like doing those. We like to do those at least once a week. Everyone says it feels like FaceTime, and I love that because even though I can't see y'all, I feel like I can. I feel like we're just sitting here chilling, chatting about makeup, and I love it so much. I love y'all with all of my heart. I have no idea what I'm posting tonight. Oh, tomorrow is going to be an ad. So tomorrow's story will be an ad, and then tomorrow's post is going to be an ad. So y'all see the brand that I'm going to use all the time. So I love y'all so much, and I will see y'all in the comments tonight.